Beruchim Habayim. Moshe Langado here speaking under the auspices of Kollel Havat Yisrael in San Diego, California, and Sha'rei Tziyon here in Brooklyn, New York. This week, the Pasha we read in the Torah is Devarim, but it also is a very special date. It is the 9th day of Av. Yes, Shabbat is the 9th day of Av, but we do not fast and commemorate the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash till Sunday. For on Shabbat, it's Yom Simcha, and we push out the fast day one day. When our sages talk about the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, they give us a reason. For the first temple, we have the three cardinal averot: Avodah Zarah, paganism; Arayot, illicit relations; and Ritzicha, and murder. 7 years took place, and there was a tikkun, there was tshuva. But when it came to the second Beit HaMikdash, sinat chinam, hatred between brothers, was the reason. Until this very day, we haven't been able to rectify that sin. The Jerusalem Talmud makes a statement, which is very powerful. It tells us, in every generation which the temple was not built in, it's as if it was destroyed in that generation. Meaning that we still haven't fixed the sin of that generation so long ago, which the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed in. Sinat Chinam is still rampant. It still bothers our nation. Lashon Hara, not acting with love between other Jews. That has to be fixed. My friends, people ask, and they ask rightly, how can our measly generation expect to have the Beit HaMikdash built in it when the great generations of Rashi and the Rambam and the Ramban and the Rishonim and the Ari HaKadosh and great, great men of stature, both in Torah knowledge and in Torah deeds, they weren't able to accomplish this great feat of having the Beit HaMikdash built. And we expect to have it built in our times. And my friends, an answer may be that construction takes a long time. The excavation, pouring of the concrete, bricks, the interior. Yes, the Beit HaMikdash is being built in Shamayim. And those generations, those giants of men before us did build. And in Shamayim, the Beit HaMikdash is almost finished. All that is needed, like the Chavetz Chaim said, is the shining of the doorknobs. We are left with very little. Let us be able to do that little work and have that Beit HaMikdash descend from Shamayim. Every act we do, every bit of tefillah, of Torah, which is said and learned, adds a little more kedusha to this world, making the Biat HaMashiach imminent. If I can have the license to tell over a story that the Beit Yosef, the author of the Shulchan Aruch, said over. The Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Karo, had a charuta, a study partner, an angel. He would come to him at night and they would learn together. And there was a very difficult passage that the Beit Yosef was studying and studying and studying for a long time. And finally, after days, weeks of concentration, he came up with a beautiful answer. He was so proud, so happy. A few weeks later, he was traveling through the streets of Sfat, and in front of him was the city shoemaker, a learned man, but far from the Talmid Chacham that the Bet Yosef was. And as he was walking, he asked his little boy, what sugya were they learning? What part of Talmud was he learning? And the little boy mentioned it to him. And the little boy said, Abba, I have a good question. The father asked him, what's your question? The boy asked him. And Rav Yosef Karo, hearing it, said, that's my question which I worked so long on. Maybe I will tell them the answer. But overhearing the shoemaker, said, young man, didn't you learn the sugya well? That's not a question. That's very simple. And the shoemaker started rattling off the answer that the Bet Yosef had come to realize after hours, days of hard work. Bet Yosef was humiliated, was depressed. I, whom call myself a great scholar, took so long to come to this realization. And the shoemaker of Sfat, the lowly shoemaker who doesn't have time to study, understood the problem in seconds. He went back home. That night, his Charutah, the angel, came and told him, Yosef, why are you so depressed? And the Bet Yosef told him, Holy angel, let me tell you what happened. And he described the story, how he heard the shoemaker answer his son, as if it was the simplest answer available. An angel, holy angel, I worked on it so long to be able to receive clarity. And the angel looked at Rav Yosef Karo, the Bet Yosef, and told him, you don't understand. Yosef, you brought down the Kedusha to the world with all your struggle, all your sweat and all your tears for everybody to enjoy it. Now it's in this world. It is public property. My friends, sometimes we don't realize the deeds which we do. The deeds which we do bring Kedusha to this world. Every deed helps a little more Kedusha, a little more Tahara, another brick for the Beit HaMikdash, another shine of those doorknobs in the Beit HaMikdash. Every mitzvah, every Devar Torah, every Perek Tehillim, every Tefillah is so dear to God, and it brings down an abundance of Kedusha in this world. My friends, the time of Mashiach is desperately needed, but let us do our part, be it very little, but it will be the finishing touches. And Bezrat Hashem, next year, we'll walk hand in hand to that holy temple, to the Beit HaMikdash, and celebrate with our Father in heaven. Shabbat Shalom.